What's good, Knicks fans? Welcome to Knicks Latest. It was an exciting weekend, baby. In Detroit, the Knicks now lead the series 3-1. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it all. Just 1 second, though. Need you to subscribe. Need you to like the video. Need you to leave a comment about what you think is going to happen in Game 5 on Tuesday at the Garden. Let me know what you think. Do the Knicks close it out against the Detroit Pistons at home? 3-1 lead. Let me know in the comments. We're trying to build a community here at Knicks Latest. I want your comments to be a part of the show just as much as my opinions are a part of the show. Love the New York Knicks fan base. I am a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan all my life. Definitely looking to build a community with this channel. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. You can follow me everywhere at Josh_Rodriguez_. If you want to chat online, if you want to DM me, message me, all that good stuff, we can definitely get into it about our favorite team, the New York Knicks. All right, here we go. Knicks take a 3-1 series lead against the Detroit Pistons. Two hard-fought, drag it out, dig deep type games against a team that, lays their cap on being a tough team, a team that doesn't play around. The bad boys Pistons. This is a team that's supposed to be tougher than the Knicks. This is a team that's whole identity is based on beating the crap out of you and getting physical with you. And we went into their building twice and beat them at their own game twice. Beautiful sign if you're a Knicks fan. Great sign. Exactly what you want to see. Now, there were two really, really, really close games, but two really, really, really good victories. And honestly, two victories that, if you would have asked a lot of Knicks fans going into the season, but postseason, we're not sure we pulled both of them out. This team has not shown too much character for the most part. There have been games like the Grizzlies game, which I think they showed a lot of character. That was probably my favorite win of the season. When they went into Memphis and OG had the game-winning shot there, that was probably my favorite Knicks win because it showed a lot of grit and grind of last year's team. Didn't see much of it this year, but we have seen it 2 games in a row in Detroit. Jalen Brunson, phenomenal. MVP-type performance, showing why he's clutch player of the year, coming back from an ankle injury, looked really serious, limped off the court, then comes in the fourth quarter and absolutely dominates. And you can cut all the crap about him being a foul baiter, all that good stuff. He was balling, ethical hoops, going to the hoop, not looking to draw the foul, just scoring the basketball, taking advantage of mismatches, taking advantage of when the Pistons switched on defense. He was fantastic in the fourth quarter of Game 4. He led the way when the Knicks were down 11. It looked like all hope was lost. In comes the captain. In comes clutch player of the year. And he does what he does best, and that leads the New York Knicks to victory. And you gotta also shout out Karl-Anthony Towns with the biggest shot of the season so far because, wow, what a shot to take the lead with under a minute left to go in the fourth quarter. And honestly, what a shot before that. The shake fadeaway on the baseline. Karl-Anthony Towns has showed up. I don't understand where all these soft labels come. I know he has like a weird high-pitched voice and he's very, right? Like his facial expressions and stuff, like he's easy to make fun of. But the man plays tough, man. He gets the ball. He puts his head down. He goes to the rim. He does not shy away from contact. He plays like the big man that he is. And he's one of the best, if not the best big man shooter of all time from three-point range. And he showed it on that last play where he hit the game-winning 3 from about 30 feet away with the shot clock running down. Unbelievable shot from Karl-Anthony Towns. He's had a really good series for the most part. One bad game, but for the most part, you gotta like what you see from Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, there is room for improvement, right? Like Mikal Bridges did not have a great game. He had a great Game 3. Game 4, not so much. Did hit two big threes. The bench has been awful outside of campaign in game 1. OG, and I know we did not have a good offensive game in Game 3, but he's been doing a decent job on Cade Cunningham, who the Knicks, it's to the point where it's like, all right, you can't stop him. You got to contain him type of thing, and the Knicks have kind of contained him. It's more about not letting the Tim Hardaway Juniors of the world go off like they did in Game 4, or Tobias Harris going off like he did in Game 4, keeping them at a minimum. There are times where the Knicks look extremely good on the defensive end, and then they have these lapses. Jalen Duren has been killing them on the boards. But for the most part, they have been playing better defense. They have been more connected. The first half of Game 4 was the best I've seen the Knicks on both ends of the ball in a long time. I think a lot of that also has to do with Josh Hart. Josh Hart's having a fantastic series, in my opinion. He's causing a lot of havoc. He's getting loose balls. He's getting offensive rebounds. He's pushing the ball. He's cutting. He hit 3 threes in game 4. He's shooting with confidence. And when you get that Josh Hart, this Knicks team is really, really tough to beat. He was my X factor going into this series, and he's done nothing but prove me right. He's been fantastic in this series. So shout out to Josh Hart. Deuce has not been playing well. 1 for 5 from 3 in game 4. He seemed to be more confident shooting the basketball, but just the results are not there. Deuce, keep shooting, man. We believe you're going to break out of it. They need you. They need Deuce. They need some punch, consistent punch off the bench, because they're not getting it from campaign outside of game 1. Landry Shamet's minutes have been cut in half, and Mitchell Robinson's not an offensive threat. It's got to come from somewhere. And Deuce has probably been the most consistent Knick on the offensive end off the bench. They're going to need him. They're going to need Deuce McBride to finish off the series, and then the next round against the Celtics, they're going to need him desperately if they plan on competing with the Boston Celtics. So Deuce, hope you wake up, man. Keep shooting the ball. We believe in you, all right? Now, the elephant in the room, the referees. Was Tim Hardaway Jr. fouled? Yes, the 2-minute report said he was fouled, so I can't argue that, right? Like, that's the letter of the law. They said he was fouled. Here's the thing. When you're a team like the Detroit Pistons, who are predicated on beating everybody up, and then you beat everybody up, and then the refs don't call it when you're beating everybody up, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't feel for you. It's not like the refs were calling a very tight game where fouls are being called and no one was getting away with anything. You know, I know there's sometimes you're going to have moments where refs miss a call. But the third quarter in game 4 where Jalen Brunson got hurt, even before that, was probably the worst officiated game I've ever seen in my life. And the Knicks got fouled on almost every possession. They were getting thrown to the floor, held, hit as they're going out for layups, no calls. And when the game is like that, you're not going to get sympathy from me for the refs missing a call on the last shot of the game. Now, Detroit, everybody's rooting for the Pistons. Everybody's rooting for Detroit. So all social media is on the refs about how they screwed over the Pistons. But if you think that, you didn't watch any of the games. You just didn't. You didn't watch any game 4. You didn't watch any game, none of game 4, to see how many times the refs swallowed the whistle every time the Knicks got hit. The Knicks were up 16 points at one point. If the refs blew their whistle 2 or 3 times, 1 or 2 times, the Pistons don't come back. A lot of the Pistons' momentum was derived from the fact that they were hacking the crap out of the Knicks and were able to force turnovers or force missed shots at the rim or whatever the crap you want to talk about. I don't want to hear it. I don't. And you can point to Jalen Brunson foul baiting in game 2, getting players up in the air, whatever. Say whatever you want. That's a different game. In game 4, the refs were letting everything go for the most part. Everything. I don't care that you didn't get that. Do you want to look at the scoreboard of missed calls? Because we can look at the scoreboard of missed calls. You're not going to win that game if you're Detroit. So, was it a foul? Sure. Should you be frustrated if you're a Pistons fan? I get it. But this idea that the refs are swallowing their whistle or the Knicks have the refs in their back pocket is absurd if you've watched this series. The whole series. The Pistons have gotten the benefit of the doubt for mostly all the calls in this series. I'm not like in game 2, the Knicks didn't shoot a free throw until like the last minute of the second quarter. The Knicks are not a team that just takes jump shots and shoots 3-pointers. They're a team that's predicated on getting to the rim. What are we talking about here? I think the refs have been bad, and I do think they have missed calls, against the Pistons. I do think they've missed calls against the Knicks. I think at times it has been both ways terrible. I don't think the Pistons don't have a gripe in some aspects of the game. But there's one team in this series whose whole only identity is beating the crap out of you. And that's what they've tried to do all series. Their game plan is to beat the crap out of the Knicks. That's the game plan. That's number 1. And they've been doing that and getting away with it time and time again. Foul after foul. No call after no call. Sorry you don't get a first of all, he fouled him, but let's not pretend that Tim Hardaway didn't jump into him either. All right, relax. Shoot the ball, Tim. That's what you're telling Jalen. Shoot the ball. So give me a break. Tuesday's game 5. I got the Knicks. I had the Knicks in 5, and even though it's a harder series than I thought it was going to be, if the Knicks win Game 5, I'm going to feel like a genius. So I'm going to stick with it. I think the Knicks are the better team. I said this all series. The talent discrepancy is out of this world. The only way the Pistons are able to stay in this game and stick with the Knicks is if they are way too physical for them, is if the refs do call a loose game, and it's if the refs let the Pistons get away with crap. I think the Knicks should have run away with Game 4. I think they could have run away with Game 3. That was another game where they had multiple double-digit leads, just could not put the Pistons away. I think at the Garden, an angry Knicks crowd, because let's face it, Pistons fans don't know, maybe the rest of the NBA world doesn't know, we're frustrated with the refs just as much as you are, if not more. You just don't know it because you've lost. I think you have a Knicks team that's a Knicks fan base that's sick of the Pistons players, that's sick of JB Bickerstaff, that's sick of the refs, and I think that the Garden's going to be rocking, and I think the Knicks win by double digits. So give me that. Tomorrow we're going to go over my keys to the game, my X factors, all that good stuff for a preview. I'll give you my prediction, official prediction, but right now it's looking like the Knicks are going to win in 5. For now, subscribe to the channel. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Game 5, who you think is going to win, and by how much. Keys to the game, X factors, all that good stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a preview of Game 5 and another episode of Knicks Latest. Peace.